This is not time for you to start browsing designer gear. This is not time for you to start, upgrading your holiday. Oh, I've not been on holiday in a long while because we've all been at home with COVID. So this time around, I'm going to fly first class and I'm going to book myself into a 5-star hotel. YOLO, you only live once. Darling, you have debt. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, The Bulletproof Life. It's your girl, Ronke Odewumi, and as usual, I'm delighted to have you here. I hope you're having a good week so far. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you 20 actions you need to take to help you get out of debt. These 20 actions, if you take them, they will help you in your journey of getting out of debt and becoming debt-free. And I know that getting out of debt is something that a lot of us want to do. We want to just be free of those credit card debts. We want to be free of those loans. We want to just have our money to do everything we want to do and to progress our journey to financial wealth. So today, I'm going to be sharing with you 20 steps that will help you do that journey quickly and you can become debt-free. But before we go into these 20 steps, can I ask you to please take a minute to press the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed, and if you have, thank you very much. Don't forget to press the like on this video. Smash that button so that YouTube can share this video with other people like you. Now, let's get right into those 20 actions you need to be taking to get you out of debt. The first action you need to do is to create a budget. I know I bang on about a budget quite a bit, and I'm always talking about you having a budget, but having a budget is the foundation of it all. Because when you have a budget, you know exactly how much money is coming in, you know exactly what you're spending your money on, and then you are able to decide how much to put to debt, and it also helps you to then manage your funds and be in control of that money. So the very first action you need to take is to create a budget. Now, you can create a budget using an app. There are so many apps that you can use for budgeting, like Emma and Yolt, and I have links in the description for you if you would like to try out an app. You can use a budgeting book. Yours truly has created one for you. It's available on Amazon, and again, there's a link in the description. And then you can use a simple Excel spreadsheet to just manage your budget. If you're somebody who is really comfortable with Excel spreadsheets, then you can use them. And I have a budgeting spreadsheet on my website, link in the description, which you can also download for free and use for your budget. If you don't want to go to my website, you can go to my Instagram account, link in the description, and you will be able to get that link from my profile to allow you to download the budget spreadsheet. So I've given you 3 different ways now that you can budget. So you have no excuse, my darling. You need to start off by creating a budget. The second thing you need to do to get yourself out of debt really quickly is to get an extra source of income. Yes, I know that we always talk about, cut your coat according to your size, reduce your spending, all of those things. In order for you to reduce your debt quickly, you need more money. That's just the truth. Because obviously, whatever money you have now is not pushing down your debt or reducing your debt as fast as you want. But when you have an extra source of income, you will be able to reduce your debt quickly. And I've done a video also on this channel where I talked about side hustles and the kind of things you can do easily from your house to make extra money. So you can simply get extra income by starting a side hustle. There are so many options for you side hustle wise. So that is the second action you need to take to get you out of debt fast. The third action you need to take is to pay more than the minimum. When you get that credit card, they will tell you can pay just 5%. Some of them will allow you to pay just £5 monthly. And then you are also paying that minimum because that is what is convenient for you. Your debt will not go down quickly. You will be stuck with that debt for much longer than you should. And that's simply because a lot of debts, a lot of credit card debts tend to have interest rates. They've given you an interest on top of your principal, which is the cost of your debt. It's the fee you are paying for being allowed to have that debt. Now, when you are paying the minimum, a lot of your minimum payment, or most of it, or all of it, is going to go to pay off the interest, because that's the lender's plan. First of all, you pay the fee, and then your principal, which is your main debt, stays on your account. And that way your debt stays longer on your account. You are there trying to pay it off, but it just doesn't feel like it's moving simply because you're paying the minimum. Even if you are not paying the minimum, perhaps you are paying just a little bit above the minimum, I'm here to tell you it's not going to work. You need to pay more than the minimum. You need to put good money to your debt. You need to throw money at that debt for it to go away. So the third action you need to be taking is paying more than the minimum on your debt. And this applies to credit card debts, loans, and all of that. You need to pay more than the minimum. The next action you need to take is to negotiate for a lower interest rate with your lender. So a lot of people, when they are in debt, they just ignore those letters from their lenders. They ignore the letters from the credit card companies, from the banks. The letters arrive and you shove it under a corner, you shove it in a corner in your kitchen, and you completely ignore it. If your lender is trying to call you, you don't pick their calls. You just hide away from them and go like, I'm paying their debt. They should not stress me. Darling, what you need to be doing is getting in touch with your lender. Give them a call. Pick up a phone, find a good comfortable corner, and give your lender a call. Speak to them about your debt. Ask for a lower interest rate. Tell them that you are struggling to pay off your debt at the current interest rate, and that you believe that if they give you a lower interest rate, you will be able to pay this debt off more quickly. Talk about how it's impacting your health. Tell them you're not very happy. You just want this debt to go, and you're struggling. So if they can reduce the interest rate, you will appreciate it. Half of the lenders you speak to will give you a lower interest rate. Some will say no, that's okay. But what you need to do is at least negotiate. You need to negotiate for a lower interest rate. Your interest rate is a big reason why your debt is not going down. Especially if you are somebody who has a 40% interest rate, a 25% interest rate, 30% interest rate. Those are huge interest rates. And that kind of interest rate on a loan of £5,000 is a lot of money. So you need to sit down with your lender and negotiate your interest rate to help you reduce how much you are paying back on your loan. The next thing you need to do is to consolidate your debt. I've spoken to people who have 14 different debts, 10 different debts, 4 credit cards, 3 loans, and overdrafts. A loan from a friend, a loan from a cousin. You have all these loans and all these debts in so many different places, you've lost count of them. Sometimes you even forget to pay some of them because there are so many of them you don't remember. And then you get charges and then you're back to square one, trying to pay off the loan, trying to pay off the charges and all of that. So the next thing you need to do is to consolidate your debt. How can you consolidate your debt? Easy. You apply for a credit or a loan and then use that loan to pay off all the small loans or all the smaller pieces of debt that you have, so that your debt then becomes one. That's what you do. Now, you need to be careful when you are consolidating your debt, because sometimes if you try to consolidate your debt, you are taking on a debt that has a higher interest rate. That's not a good idea. What you want to do is to get a loan or a credit card with a lower interest rate than the one you have now, or the same, and then use that credit or that debt or that loan to pay off a number of debts that you have. So you would try and pay off all the small ones, the 250, the 300, the 200, the smaller debts that you have that you are likely to forget. So that's the next action you need to take. You need to consolidate your debt. Once you've consolidated your debt, it's time for you to now declutter and resell. So I mentioned earlier that you need to get another source of income for you to pay off your debt, to bring in more money. This next action is geared towards helping you have more money. Look around your house. What are the things that you're not using? You don't need them anymore. Look in your garage. What are the things that are just there? You just kept them there. Your old clothes, your children's old clothes, sell them off. Facebook Marketplace, eBay, all of these places are places where you can sell off things that you're not using anymore. Vinted is great for old clothes. You can sell them off. Pre-loved is great for old clothes as well. You can sell off your old clothes there. So look around your house, declutter your space, and resell to bring in extra money. You might not bring in a lot of money that you can throw at debt, but you can bring in money that will prevent you from taking on new debt, which takes me on to the next point. You need to stop taking on new debt. You need to stop spending your credit card. You need to stop taking on another loan to do another project. No. The only extra loan you can take on is the loan that you're taking to consolidate your debts. Outside of that, you need to stop taking on extra loans. You need to stop spending your credit card. You need to cut up that credit card and just leave it as something that you need to pay off. As long as you are taking on more debt and creating more debt and spending credit, you're never going to come out of debt. Because as you're paying, you're spending. How are you going to come out of debt if you are creating more debt as you pay off? So it's time for you to stop spending credit, to stop creating credit, and to just live on what you have. Which brings me again to the next point. You need to watch your spending habits. You need to review your spending habits. You need to ask yourself, do I need to respond to FOMO, that fear of missing out? Do I need to be involved with everything? Do I need new clothes? Do I need new shoes? Do I need another pair of shoes? Do I need another pair of jeans? Do I need to do this right now? You need to review your spending habits and use that to curtail how much you are spending. Because a lot of times it's spending habits that land us in a position where we are living on credit. You are spending credit, you're buying extra things here and there. You just have have to go. They've opened Primark. Everybody has rushed to Primark. You don't want to be left behind. You rush to Primark. Oh, the sales are on. You don't need anything, but the sales are on. So you rush off and you spend at the sales. So you need to review your spending habits. Your phone has not expired, but you know, my contract has ended and the new phone is out. Why not? I'm going to buy a new phone, even though the one you're using is working perfectly. You need to review your spending habits. These are the things that will keep you in debt if you continue in that particular path. The next action you need to take is to throw all windfalls, bonuses, and tax refunds at your debt. So this is middle of the year now. A lot of companies will soon start paying bonuses, you know, May, June, July. They start paying all those bonuses. You get that check in your account, or you get that extra on top of your monthly paycheck. This is not time for you to start browsing designer gear. This is not time for you to start, you know, upgrading your holiday. Oh, I've not been on holiday in a long while because we've all been at home with COVID. So this time around, I'm going to fly first class and I'm going to book myself into a 5-star hotel. You know, YOLO, you only live once. Darling, you have debt. You have debt. So that bonus, that tax refund from the tax office needs to go to your debt. Every windfall that comes to you, that's every money that you were not expecting, or every money that you will not normally receive every month, needs to go to your debt. Some of you will say, my bonus is money that I was expecting. I've planned for it. Darling, your bonus, a good chunk of that bonus should go to your debt. Allow yourself to rejoice in the fact that you can use your bonus to pay debt. Don't start saying, oh, it's my bonus, I need to reward myself. Reward yourself by paying off your debt with your bonus. When your bonus comes along, throw a big chunk of it at your debt. Don't allow yourself to just splurge and splurge and splurge until there's nothing left for you to throw at your debt. So windfalls, bonuses, and tax refunds should go to your debt. So a lot of people, when they get a mortgage, they get a fixed rate, a 2-year rate, a 3-year rate. And then when that fixed rate ends, they don't do anything. They just stay on the same mortgage provider, you know, without shopping around for a cheaper mortgage. They just stay with that same deal. And the mortgage provider then moves them to a standard mortgage deal, which is not beneficial. And then their mortgage rate jumps up a little bit, but they just keep paying it. I'm here to tell you to switch to a cheaper mortgage. When your mortgage ends, or when your mortgage is about to end, and you're just approaching the end of that fixed rate or whatever mortgage you are on, it's time to switch to a cheaper mortgage. And if you are not on a fixed rate, if you are not on a fixed contract, you are just on a mortgage, regular mortgage deal, you know, that rolls over monthly, it's time for you to hunt around and find yourself a mortgage deal that benefits you. Your mortgage is a debt, even though it's, you know, is a secured debt, it's secured against your house, but there's no reason why you can't reduce the cost of that mortgage by getting yourself a mortgage with a lower interest rate. So that's the next action you need to take. Switch to a cheaper mortgage. In addition to switching to a cheaper mortgage, it's time for you to review your utility bills and check if you can reduce them. You know, and I'm talking about your electric, your gas, your water bill, your mobile, your cable subscriptions, all of that. You need to check if you can reduce them. Can you get a better deal for your electric, for your gas, for your water? In the UK, we have something called U-Switch, and U-Switch helps you switch between, you know, utility providers, and you can switch. If you're on a mobile phone contract that's 18 months or 24 months, once it ends, you need to switch out. Otherwise, you're just paying for a phone that's already been paid for. I've got a whole video on my channel already where I talked about, you know, reducing your utility bills and how to go about it and all of that. So please check it out. It's on my channel. It's there. I've got all of those videos. You need to check them out about reducing your bills and how to pay less for all of those things. That is a way to get out of debt fast, because once you reduce your utility bills, you can throw that money at debt, which is why I want you to go about reducing your utility bills. Do you know that it's possible for you to be paying the wrong council tax fee? A lot of people just accept what the council sends them as a council tax payment. But you need to check whether you're in the right band, because your council tax payment is based on the band you are in. So you need to check with your council whether you are in the right band. If you're living alone, you're single, or you're disabled, or you're a student, the council offers discounts. A lot of councils in the UK offer discounts that you get for those things because you're living alone, or you're a student, or you're disabled. So please, if any of this applies to you, please reach out to your council about reducing your council tax fees. They're not going to give you a refund of the ones you've paid, but they're going to reduce your council tax bills as you go forward. Next action you need to take is to automate your minimum payments. So a lot of us, we take the action of making payments every month, thinking about it and deciding how much we want to allocate. What then happens is that if you forget, you get charged. for your credit card especially, you get charged, and it becomes a mark on your credit card history if you keep missing payments. So what you need to do is to automate that minimum payment. As a matter of fact, I believe in automating a lot of utility bills, electric, gas, water. I automate those things. I understand if you are unable to automate them due to your financial status, but what I want you to do is to automate your minimum credit card payment. That minimum payment that's required, that keeps you in their good books, automate it, so that as a minimum it goes out of your account monthly, and at least that is sorted. And then as the month progresses, you can choose to make additional payments to that minimum. But please, as of today, once you finish watching this video, automate the minimum payment on your debt. The next action you need to take is to pay off your most expensive debt first. Not the biggest, the one that has the highest interest rate, the one that is charging you the most. A lot of people don't know this, but your interest rate matters. I've had conversations with people who come to me for coaching, and they have interest rates of 40%, 35%, 25%, 45%. All of those things actually debilitate your ability to pay off debt. They reduce your ability to pay off debt. They make it harder. So because they are charging you so much, you spend a lot of your time just paying interest. So I'm here to say, throw the kitchen sink, throw all the money, throw your windfalls, throw your bonuses at the most expensive debt first. That's the one you want to break the back of. That's the debt you want to get out of the way. Once you've paid off your most expensive debt, or at least you've reduced it up to the point that it's like £100, £150, it's really low, then you need to decide a payment strategy. So I've done a video about debt repayment strategies and how you can decide which one is best for you. You need to watch that video and then decide the best debt repayment strategy for yourself. Different people align with different debt repayment strategies. I talked about 3 or 4 key ones in that video, and depending on your nature and the kind of person you are, a different debt strategy would resonate with you. So you need to pick a debt repayment strategy and stick to it. If you are paying off the big ones first, stick to it. If you are paying off the small ones first, stick to it. If you are doing a mix in a particular way, stick to it. Stick to a debt repayment strategy and follow through. It will help you break the back of your debt, reduce them, pay them off, and become debt-free. The other thing that I've noticed is that sometimes people have debts, large debts, but they're saving. It doesn't make sense. And the reason why I'm saying this is because savings will not give you the kind of returns that strikes out or covers the cost of your debt. So if you are somebody who is saving, but you have debts with high interest rates, you need to pay off those debts. In fact, I always say in my investing masterclasses that you need to pay off high interest debt before you invest. So if you are somebody with high interest debt, you need to take out your savings and pay off debt. Now, I'm not saying empty your savings, and I'm not saying use your emergency funds. No, have your emergency funds, because that will keep you from getting more debt. But I'm talking about the saving in addition to your emergency funds. You need to take that and use it to pay off debt. Don't be afraid to use your savings to pay off debt. Use a good chunk of your savings to pay off debt. In fact, if you have a good emergency fund, I will use all of your savings to pay off debt, because you have an emergency fund to cover you in case of an emergency. So you don't need that savings right now if you have high interest debt. What you need to do is to boldly use your savings to pay off your debt, especially the high interest ones. Also, you need to delete your credit card information from online stores. Oh my, this one should trigger you. You need to delete your credit card information from those stores. Those stores have stored it for you to make it easy for you. What they've done is made it easy for you to spend credit. Once you are shopping, do you want to make payments? They provide the credit card information for you. You just click pay, and then before you know it, payment accepted. You move on. You have shopped. It's time for you to delete those cookies. Go into your browser history and delete the credit card information from those stores. Delete it completely, so that every time you need to spend online, you need to be reaching for a debit card and making payment from money that you have. You can also consider consumer credit counseling. So if your debt is stressing you out, you don't know how to go about it, you've tried to negotiate with your lenders, it's not working, you're trying to pay it off, it's not working, then it's time for you to consider consumer credit counseling. I provide coaching to help people get out of debt. I provide that coaching to talk to you about your debt and to help you consolidate your debt, to help you write a budget, to help you take all the steps I've talked about in this video. However, in the UK, there is free consumer credit counseling, which you can get, where they will help you manage your money, decide how much you can pay to lenders, speak to lenders on your behalf, and help you sort out your debt position. So that's something you can easily do if you live in the UK or the US, and quite a number of countries also do it, where you have consumer credit counseling and you can approach them for support to help you get out of debt. As a last resort, you can file for bankruptcy to get out of your credit card debt. Now, this is an absolute last resort because bankruptcy has a ripple effect impact. It will stay on your credit history for 10 years. You will not be able to do a lot of things in the few years after bankruptcy. So this is something you need to think about well before you do it. However, if your debts are killing you, if your debt have put you in a place where you cannot maneuver, you cannot turn, you cannot consolidate anything, you can no longer survive by paying off those debts and living because your income, all of it is going to paying off debt, then filing for bankruptcy is an option that you can consider. And that brings me to the very last point of this video. This is the most important action that you need to take to get you out of debt fast. And this action is to take care of your mental health. 1 in 5 people in the UK develop mental health issues due to debt. So you need to be careful of how you allow this, your debt, to impact your mental health. You need to bear in mind at the end of the day, if you have mental health issues, you might struggle more with paying the debt. So you need to compartmentalize. You need to try not to think about it. You need to take the actions to get you out of debt. And then once you've taken the actions, you need to rest. You need to rest in the confidence that you've taken the right actions and the right steps to get you out of debt, and that the only thing now you have to do is to be patient, is to give it time. And this is why I have mentioned the credit counseling support available. If you're somebody who is struggling with mental health issues because of your debt, you really need to consider getting counseling and support from the credit agencies that have been set up by the government. Your mental health is important. You must not exacerbate any health problems by worrying about your debt. You just have to exercise patience, that if you take the right actions, which are the actions I've talked about in this video, you will pay off those debts and you will become debt free and you will continue your journey to financial freedom. You need to understand, I'm rooting for you. I believe in you, and I'm here to talk to you anytime. If you want to talk to me, you can send me an email, you can message me on Instagram, you can get me on my Facebook page. I'm available to you to talk anytime. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's added value to you. If you have debt you are trying to get out of, I hope you are going to take the actions in this video to get you out of debt. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do it by pressing the red button on your right. Don't forget to press the bell so you can get notifications every time I share a new video. I love hanging out with you guys. Thank you for being a part of this bulletproof community. Until my next video, you take care of yourself and keep living that bulletproof life. Bye-bye.